Hello, hello, hello. Ah, hello, hello. Welcome. Oh, sorry, I have some technical difficulties. A little further down. There we go. Hi, welcome to Stories. Sorry, wrong one. We're doing Herbal Book Club today. And I'm just going to check out one thing again. Make sure. Okay. I wanted just to make sure that Facebook was working because we're streaming live from Facebook and YouTube today. So we are on part 31 of our journey through a Weedwife remedy. And we're going to be talking about Mullein. And I can now show pictures. So I can do like this and show you a Mullein, or I can do like this. I have more pictures, but this was what I had on my Google Docs. So hey Heather, how are you doing? Look, I can show pictures. So this is our plant we're talking about today, La Mullein. This is a second-year Mullein, because it's got that big flower stalk. So let's see. Yeah, it's got that like big flower stalk. Maybe I can get it to go like full screen. Zoom in. Oh. I don't know if that helped much for everyone. But yeah, so it can be taller than me. I'm like 5 feet tall, so a second-year Mullein can be taller than me. You're good, awesome. Did you get any snow? We got like a tiny bit of snow. We were supposed to get like a whole bunch of snow. So, did anyone get snow out there? Oh, you did. We'll take some practice. Yeah. With the pictures, I probably just need to like put it on my desktop or do something else so it's bigger. So, hello Cheryl. How are you? Welcome. Oh yes, Happy New Year. It's been a crazy year already. So, but cool. Glad you can join us today. So we are going to be on page 144 for anyone who has the book and wants to follow along in the book. Oh yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, got some things I'm excited about this year. So you know, that's really cool. And everything. So so I'm going to put down the Latin. So we're doing Mullein. Oh, I can do banners. This is really fun. Oh, I don't need an example bit. Okay. All right. So, yes. Oh, I mislabeled this as a golden touch, but it's actually a golden torch. That's the title of this chapter, which makes so much more sense. So that is the title of this chapter, A Golden Torch, Mullein's Healing Light. Yeah, I'm playing with all this StreamYard tools. George Bradbury. All right, we'll go back to And so I'm going to take this. So the Latin name is Vibrascum spp. So there's many species of it. I'll pop the Latin name in. Has anybody done any work with Mullein? Yeah, so that's the Latin name. Hopefully I spelled that right. Ascum, yeah. Vibrascum, I think that's how you pronounce it. I have not done any work, but you can like make an ear oil with the flowers. Offhand that I know of for like I'm gonna have to move this down a little bit so I can, there we go, so it's not like I'm like this, you know. So that's the Latin name, and common names are mullein, conley, oh my gosh, we have wild ice lettuce, Our Lady's flannel, which is fun because the leaves are like really fluffy and fuzzy and soft. And first, it's a 2-year life cycle. First year, it has a low to the ground, like a basil rosette. So if you see like a low plant with like a circle of very fuzzy leaves, that's first year mullein. Quaker's rouge, clown's lungwort, lady's foxglove, hog's taper, or hedge taper, torches, candelabra. So those are some of the common names, because I think the torch names is because people used to make torches out of them, or you can, which I haven't tried. I have visions of like dipping the whole thing in wax and then like making a humongous candle, but I really don't know. I haven't done much research on it. I've just something I've heard. So the energetics of the root, neutral, slightly drying, and the leaf is cool and slightly moistening. The flower is cool and neutral. The taste is salty, bland, and vanilla. I've never tasted it. Primary action, relaxant, nervine, lymphagogue. I'm assuming it acts on your lymph system, expectorant, so it can make you throw up. Yay. Vulnerary and anti-inflammatory. I always forget what vulnerary is, but dipped in tallow back in there. Yeah. Okay, so you've heard of that too, Heather. Yeah, I want to try it one day. One day I'll try it. I don't have access to any tallow, but yeah. I mean, they're perfect. I can see why they were used for that. So yeah. Anyone who's seen a big tall mullein was like, yeah, that would be amazing. And they just dry out, like, you know, they just dry out into these huge stalks. So very easily spottable in the kind of the late summer, I believe. Specific indications, so like when you would use this plant: dry and irritated mucosa, respiratory inflammation and weakness, lymphatic stagnation, joint misalignment. That's a new one. Parts used are root, leaf, flower, flower stalk, and resin. Cool. Vulnerary, yeah. Oh, used in the healing of wounds. Oh, thank you, Heather. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So it sounds like mullein has a lot of uses. A lot of our plants do have a lot of uses, which is really cool. That's what's the cool thing about plants. All right, so I'm reading this from page 144. On a side note, since it's the new year, does anyone have any like specific herbal plans or something that you want to try this year? That you know, like like making mullein torches. I probably would burn something down. Or something like that, like a tincture you want to make, a plant you want to work with in a specific way, plant you want to plant in your garden. For me, I'm doing my podcast, Stories from the Earth. So that is my planty project. And just continuing with that, shameless plug, you can find the link, the playlist on my channel. So if you want to follow along with that, it's also got an audio part now that's making it into a real podcast. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'll probably still make my herbal oils, even though my Etsy shop, Sewell Herbs, is still closed. And I'd like to open it up at some point and have like a 50% off sale on all of my oils and stuff like that. So I guess those are my goals. Heather, hello, you're hoping to get burdock growing around the garden. Nice. Awesome. I like that. They sell it sometimes at Whole Foods, which is really cool. So I've had it from Whole Foods, and it's like incredibly earthy taste. You don't need too much of that, but it's a great plant. It's one you can use for food and medicine if everybody is not familiar. So that's awesome, Heather. I'd like to know how that turns out. I heard that you, to dig the root, it's got quite a deep root. So I dug black cohosh roots, and they were kind of shallow, but even that was quite an experience. I kind of liked it though. You're kind of on the side of a hill, like digging in the ground, like trying to like get these roots to come apart real carefully, you know, dust off the dirt. Anyway, I'd like to do it again at some point, but usually I don't use too many roots because that's just something I haven't got into. All right, so we'll just start off. Oh, hey, I'm getting a backdrop. So I got this one. You can't see what it is. For my tarot part of the channel, it's a sun and a moon. And then I'm gonna get like a planty one for this side of the channel. So we'll see how it goes. So you can see my it'll look a little better, you know, instead of my kind of very messy living room, which most people say they don't mind, but I figured I'd like to try that. All right, enough meandering. I'm gonna start. I am just gonna put up the common name here. Yeah. Okay. All right, this velvet leafed plant with its brightly bloomed flower stalk is one of the most easily recognized and well-known of most any wild or domestic herbal medicinal herb. Around here, the old timers refer to it as Indian tobacco, and even the most biologically impaired individuals tend to know at least one of its names. Oh, right, that's the other one. It's good for your lungs. So yeah, some people use it in a smoking blend. So you know, especially if you're like a smoker, something like that, it can be helpful. It seems counterintuitive to smoke something, help with smoking and all that other stuff, but it works. Hopefully she'll go over that one. I have to admit that I have not read this chapter, and it's a long one. So this will probably be like definitely a two-parter. All right. Although it often comes out as a slightly mangled myelin or myelin from those who've only read about the oddly titled herb on paper. It is believed that the name Mullein comes either from the French word Mullein, the French word spelled Moleine, or the the Celtic origins meaning yellow, or from the Latin mollis, mollis, meaning soft. So it is yellow, and it definitely is soft. Hello, Witch of the Meadows. Welcome. How are you today? We're doing Mullein, and I have a picture today. So we now know what it looks like if people are not familiar. And we're on page 144 of the book, if you have it. And I asked everyone if they had any like specific herbal plans this year since it's New Year's. And Miss Heather says she's going to do some burdock, so that's awesome. So Happy New Year! Yes. And then also, have you worked with Mullein and made anything out of it? Oh, Sonia, yes. I always forget that you changed your name. It's not buffering. Yay! All right. I'm slow. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad your internet is working. Although not native to North America, this now ubiquitous weed was quickly and widely accepted into the materia medica of the continent's indigenous people, which itself is a clear indication of its broad applicability and benevolent nature. I view Mullein as an important guardian plant, emphasized in how it followed European immigrants to the Americas and served to create an herbal bridge between Old World and New World healing traditions, to the point that a very few herbalists or folk healers can imagine a practice without this beloved and widespread remedy. So I was reading in Phyllis Light's book, Folk. Oh my gosh, it's Folk. Let me pull up the name. Go fast. Southern Folk Medicine, which is a really good book. That the Indians started adopting and using the plants that the Europeans were introducing, because they were trying to treat, and I may be getting this wrong, but like they were like treat white men's illnesses with white man medicine, you know, because Europeans were bringing all kinds of diseases in that they hadn't been familiar with. So I think that was one of the reasons I feel like they adopted some of the plants, but just yeah. And actually, the Europeans brought over a ton of plants, which is crazy. Like, I think chickweed is non-native and all this stuff. Like, just things that you think are just everywhere and stuff like that, which is real cool. Lighting the hedge taper. Mullein makes a very appropriate first herbal ally for many children or beginners in herbcraft. Its safe, wise, and grounding presence helps take us deeper into not just its own medicine, but into all herbal medicines. This plant proves itself as a guiding light and guardian of all healers who live within its range, simultaneously a towering torch herb and fluffy comforter once called Our Lady's Flannel. It has a long history of benevolent and nurturing sentimental to healers, children, and all those who ask for its assistance. Maud Graves said that, so she's an herbalist. This is a quote. Both in Europe and in Asia, the power of driving away evil spirits was ascribed to the mullein. In India, it has the reputation among the natives that the St. John wort once had here, being considered a sure safeguard against evil spirits and magic. And from the ancient classics, we learn that it was the plant which Ulysses used to protect himself against the wiles of Crete. I'm pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. It's C-I-R-C. Circe? Circe. I think that's right. Maud Grave, I think she's an herbalist that lived in like the 1900s or something. I kind of wish in the book she would sort of like say a little, hello, welcome. So unfortunately, when I'm using StreamYard and you're on Facebook, it just popped up this Facebook user. So please, will you please type your name? I wish it would like tell me who it was, but welcome. Let's see, hold on. Let's check and see. I can also look. Oh, hi, Kelly. Hello. Hey. Are you, well, I hope you're still watching, but glad you could pop in for a second. All right. I guess I'll continue. Let me just, probably should keep that X'd out just in case. Oh, hey, yeah, I know. Sorry, Kelly. Especially if you have both. But I thought to do it this way just in case, because some people don't do the YouTube, and it might be more convenient for them to like have it pop up onto Facebook. So I saw you glided me today, but I haven't watched your glide yet. So we're talking about our friend Mullein, if you cannot tell by the picture and the screen, but yeah. So have you used Mullein, Kelly? It's not a plant that I have used, but I do love it. I don't know why. I think it's just like the fuzzy leaves and the tall stalks. That's just real fun. And then the really pretty like little yellow flowers, like this whole stalk up here, which you cannot see, like this whole, like me pointing at it. But this whole stalk, you can see a little bit of flowers, but I think they all open up, which is really cool. Oh, thank you. Heather says, Sophie Emma Magdalene Grave. So that was the quote I just read. Known as Maud, was born in May 4th, 1858, and died December 24th, 1941, was an herbalist, folklorist, and writer. Awesome. Yes, thank you, Heather. So that was the quote. Woo. All right, cool. I knew she had lived, you know. I knew she wasn't around anymore. Kelly says, I've used it in tea. Oh, nice. Okay. Cool. Did you just use it like separate, like by itself? And if so, like what does it taste like? Because I've never had it. So I'm gonna go down to page 1 at the bottom of 1, page 45, and pick up the book. She says, I've also seen mullein flower tinctures work very well in guiding and providing focus and grounding to those who feel they have lost their way or can't see their path. They often feel in the dark and disjointed, and the confusion leaves them tense and with a deep sense of abandonment. Considered it the perfect plant for those hiding their light under a bushel instead of letting it shine, usually from fear of rejection or out of confusion of how to shine. Mullein will help provide the internal sense of safety and confidence needed for them to grow into their glory. That's really, really cool. Oh yeah. So Miss Graves wrote the Modern Herbal book, which everyone might be familiar with. It's like usually a 2-parter, and it's still today considered a really, really awesome reference for herbalists because she put in a whole lot of really information that is still really relevant. Heather says good for lung cleanup. Okay, so Kelly Bears use it in blends rather than alone. Okay. Good for lungs when I have swollen glands. Okay, cool. Yeah, it did say that it was good for lymphatic, which I didn't know, because I usually think of like some other herbs for lymph, but you know, so it's good for like your respiratory system and everything. So that's awesome, Kelly. This part is really neat, this paragraph on the tincture helping to provide the internal sense of safety and confidence needed for them to grow into their glory. And I think like some of us who are more shy, you know, it can be hard to like, especially if you don't have like people who are very encouraging and supportive, to take those first steps into like, as she says, glowing into the glory. I don't know, to sort of like just you know, step out of your comfort zone and into like but where you might need to go so you can grow and sort of ultimately sort of find your place or whatever. So that's really cool. And maybe that's why I really like the plant. Like I just feel really like happy like when I see it. It could be like the yellow flowers, but it's just really like, yay, mullein. Some view this large plant with its tall phallic flower stalk. Yeah, there we go. And dermatitis causing hairs as quintessentially masculine in nature. But my experience with its velvet soft leaves, first year basil rosette, and sensual flowers is that this is truly an herb that teaches balance through wholeness and by embracing seeming contradictions. For it is a both rigid and flexible, soft and hard, cuddly and prickly, weedy and elegant. That's awesome. And I totally agree with that. She's it really is like embodies the masculine and the feminine. In one plant. Heather says, I bought some mullein tincture from April Graham. Have used it sporadically. What did you think, Heather? Did you like taking it? Do you feel like it? Yeah. What did you think? It's been quite a week, you guys. My brain's been extra ADD because I'm off today, so like it's more have to be more reined in when I'm not off. I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not. Medically, this is a infinitely multi-purpose plant, and Tommy Bass himself said, so Tommy Bass is an herbalist. Also, I believe he's also passed away, but he's lived, maybe not. Don't quote me. Okay, he's an herbalist. Wrote some really good books, which I have not read. Effect. It really wasn't a dramatic effect. Oh, okay. Well, some plants are real subtle. So that's the thing with the herbal medicine. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's working. You'd really feel like probably like a ginseng that you really feel. I really felt like the oat seed when I took the oat seed tincture, like that was really, really, I felt that the nervine but like and then the Tulsi tea that I drink a lot, it's just a tea, but I really do feel it in my brain. It's very calming. But some herbs are just very under the radar. So so this is what Tommy Bass said. He wrote some books that Phyllis Light, who I mentioned earlier, she mentioned, and I think oh God, I'm getting everything mixed up. So anyway, he wrote some books that sounded really interesting. I think it's a little difficult to get a hold of though. You probably have to use it for a while. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you have to use the herbs for a while. But I was using it as a maintenance as opposed to actually having any breathing issues. I mean, that's good. To use it as sort of a preventative or to like just support your lung system. Although you might want to switch. If you're doing it, I would switch to like the tea, even if you have to drink more because the tinctures tend to be expensive. Or you can make your own. So that would be one way around it. Yeah. Supportive. Yes. That's the word. And then sometimes you could sometimes you might need more. Like it depends on your dosage, and those things that you know, you'd have to like go to an herbalist and see, you know, see, you know, get the dosage right or something. But yeah, my mom is real funny because she's just like, I can't feel it. Why am I taking this stuff? You know, oh, I hate taking pills and tinctures and stuff. And my mom's on like, I don't know, not too many pharmaceuticals, like very, very minimal. And she does take some supplements and some herbs. But you know, I'm like, well, I don't know. I understand, Mom. I take like a whole box of stuff. Like, so, but it's harder when like you don't have those like results because it's just, I have gobs of mullein plants growing on my garden this year. Yeah. So you'll probably have them next year too, Heather. So you could try to make like your own tincture. And if you do like a tea, you have to, it's got those little hairs. And even might be in the tinctures. You have to make sure you strain it really well. Like double strain it or something. Use like maybe like a muslin cloth to strain it, because you can get those little hairs in the tea, and those are not what you want. So yeah, because I think it sells seeds, so you're gonna have like little. We probably have both stages, and I'm really not sure like which one what you would make the tincture. I'm assuming the leaves for the tincture. Or you can just see what was on your tincture bottle if you still have it, and see what it says, where they use the roots or leaves. They grow from seed last season, sure, straining, but probably do my own tincture. Yeah, yeah, and they're easier to take. Anyway, like you just take less than so. All right, so this is what Tommy Bass says. Mullein is an old timer. I don't think is any alignment that mullein wouldn't give some relief. Oh, sorry, ailment. Words. Ailment that mullein wouldn't give some relief. Everyone should have dried mullein leaves or roots in their medicine cabinet at all times. How there's the second-year plants have more active properties, but both are good. Oh, awesome. Okay. Kelly Bear, lovely to catch a wee bit. Yay! Gotta go get dinner sorted. Bye, Kelly. Oh, it was good to see you. I'll read your glide and I'll get back to you. Have a good dinner. Bye. Additionally, it has essentially no toxicity and is both powerful and gentle in action, making it an ideal herb for children to work with. So that's awesome. It's a super safe herb, and everything else. So yay! All right, so we're going to talk about respiratory, the breath of light respiratory system. You know, like I was thinking when you're talking about smoking blends, like I was really thinking about like, should I make a smoking blend? Like that would be really cool. I mean, I don't smoke, but like, you know, a lot of people I work with, they smoke, and one of our health food stores has like 2 smoking blends, and it seemed really like a cool thing. However, like I wouldn't be able to try it, so I don't know. I was like, maybe that's something that like would be like really cool to make, and maybe people would like it, but that's like a product for my Etsy shop. But sort of right now, it's I'm not sure what I'm doing with my Etsy shop. So it's just been on like extended vacation due to full-time job and Stories from the Earth podcast and project coming sort of more in the forefront. But we'll see. So I'm at the bottom of page 148. 146. 146. And we're going to go. Donna makes smoking blends for herself. Oh, that's awesome, Heather. I should ask her about that. I've been trying to get her to collaborate with me on anything herbal, but I haven't been able to. So, yeah, that's cool. So we're gonna go for about 15 more minutes. I'm having to keep our book club a little shorter than normal. I want to make some smoky blends someday. Yeah, Donna. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Golly. Oh, she did a video. She's a busy farm mom. I know, Heather. I know. Yes. She's got a really cool farm, and we were gliding, and it sounds like she's got some really awesome like herbals on her farm and plants, and it would be cool. I wish she was like closer. Yeah, Sonia, that would be cool. Sonia, you should check out oh my gosh, blank Donna's video if you haven't seen it already. All right, so we're going to talk about smoking now and the respiratory system. Many people think of Mullein as primarily respiratory, and while its use is really much wider than that, it certainly does excel in its healing and protection of this part of the body. For respiratory issues, I primarily use the leaf and consider it to be indicated whenever there's a tight yet wheezy hacking cough, especially when the cough tends to come and go, indicating constriction, beginning to go chronic. It is doubly indicated where there is a respiratory dryness, leading to difficulty with productive I think it's productive like phlegm, like you can't cough anything up. And I've often combined it with mallow root, so marshmallow root, which is very like soothing and demulcent. Lady Gravedancer did a video once too on them. That's where I first saw them. Oh, that's awesome. I am subbed to her, so I'll have to check out that video. I don't smoke either, Heather. You know, so I only did it for a short time for medical reasons. But yeah, normally I don't smoke. So you know, and they have like the CBD like cigarettes now. So and I which is great, but yeah, so normally no, but for a short time had to go there. It was like sometimes it's like a really good way to get things into your body. So but and like the topical wasn't cutting it. So but I'm not really a smoker, so yeah, I don't smoke. Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, don't smoke cigarettes. I feel like if you had like a medical need to smoke like a herbal smoking blend, I think that would be like probably an exception. So, right. Other things. And then it would be different because, but the good thing about herbs is that you can do a tincture, you can do a tea, and so you don't have to necessarily do a smoking blend, and the word is expiration. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce it. So Jim McDonald, another herbalist, elaborates a bit on Mullein's usefulness in dry coughs, which is cool because, like, I think, like, when people used to come in to Whole Foods, I didn't know what to do for the dry coughs, or what to suggest to them. So the leaves are the most commonly used part of the plant and among the first remedies to be thought of in treating congestion and dry coughs, as they are an excellent expectorant. An expectorant aids the lungs in expelling mucus and phlegm by loosening it from the walls of the lungs and allowing it to be coughed up. Thus, mullein will stimulate coughing, even though that's the symptom being treated. What mullein is really doing is assisting the body's natural response to congestion, coughing, to be more effective. Not only soothing and an expectorant, it also helps prevent infections from settling into the delicate respiratory tissues. This makes it suitable in a great array of respiratory distress whenever there is dryness or constriction, including many cases of asthma and other chronic respiratory disease or distress. Matthew Wood notes that in many cases where this remedy is appropriate, there will be concurrent lung and kidney weakness. That's interesting. Well, the coronavirus is a respiratory illness, but also affects the kidneys. Or, in I think the more severe cases. So that's real interesting. Lot of herbalist quoting this time. For acute episodes of respiratory constriction, utilize mullein leaf as a smoke inhalation can be useful and provide near immediate results. For many people, the most practical way to do this is to take a couple of medium-sized dry leaves and rub them between the hands until they are broken down and fluffy. Then set the leaves into a brazier or incense burner. Holy cow! Light it on fire and then allow it to smolder. Breathing in the distributed smoke often helps to calm respiratory spasms, often without requiring direct inhalation from a pipe or herbal cigarette, and it is preferable for children and for those with delicate lungs. Well, that is awesome, you guys. Oh my gosh. I for those of us who don't smoke, here you go. There you go. So Heather, you don't even have to make, you can, if you want to use it, if you have, a hard time. Anyway, if you want to use it in this manner, you can. So that's really awesome. I'm really glad. Herbs are like so versatile. Okay, I include mullein leaf and root in most of my lung tonic formulas and have made a special use of it in this year's batch of elderberry elixir for added respiratory tonification, and protection. Oh, that's cool. It'd be good in elderberry, right? It's gentle and neutral enough in nature that its presence will never do harm and will most often help a great deal. I like that. I have some mullein leaf. I don't have root. And I have elderberry. And it's been a while since I made a tincture. That seems more doable. Yeah, Heather, I agree. You know, especially if you're concerned with smoking, and really don't, you know, I think that's real great. I think that's exciting. So the leaves and flowers are also useful in many chest salves, and while it doesn't have the penetrating volatile oils of the typically used mint and eucalyptus and so on, the aromatics of these herbs combine well with mullein and seem to carry its lung healing effect much further into the body. So it sounds like she's saying that you can put mullein into your salve with mint and eucalyptus, and that the mint and eucalyptus will help bring the mullein into your body topically. So that's cool too. There's one thing mullein is famous for. It is an oil for ear infections. A warm oil is useful where wax is causing a blockage and or pooling of moisture, but in general, I prefer the flower tincture for most infections. Okay. As it adds the drying action that helps to speed healing from most bacterial infections. Additionally, I find mullein flower to be much more effective in the treatment of chronic ear infections when combined with elderberry tincture. Be aware that if there is any chance of ruptured eardrum, nothing at all should be placed in the ear, and immediate medical attention should be sought. Also, if chronic ear infections persist with herbal treatment, a dairy intolerance should be considered, and or probiotic therapy in the form of fermented foods or supplementation. So I've also not heard of like mullein being combined with elderberry, and most people do just use the oil, and sometimes you find a mullein garlic oil, so actually this chapter is really good timing because we're in the winter time here, so you know we're getting all that cold and flu stuff, of course coronavirus and all that stuff. So it is very timely, even though the plant is not, you know, in bloom right now. All right, so we're gonna stop reading it here. We are on page 148. Kind of, we're gonna pick up with burning the candle at both ends, lymphatic and immune system. So, geez. It's a huge chapter. Cool. I'm gonna try to read this week, or now we have 2 weeks. So let me see. Book club will be wait a second. I think I might have messed up on something. I'm happy to be here this time. I am too. I'm happy here too. Sonia, happy you made it. I was gonna look. Hold on. I'm blanking on when we're having it next time. Because I am. Okay, I'm gonna have to move an appointment. Haha. All right. So we'll be back on the 22nd of January at 1 p.m. And we're going to talk about Mullein again. So yeah. And yeah, I'll try to have a discussion question, but if not, we'll just see what comes up and have a little chat in the comes up in the reading. I hope you guys have a good 2 weeks. Okie dokie smokies. Okie dokie Heather. And I want to thank everyone for joining me now and in the future. Yeah. All right. See you guys later.